All right, Chris Popper here. I'm joined once again by Coach Babineau from the Maine field hockey team. And Coach, congratulations. Uh, News came out that your team had the highest GPA for the 2023-24 season across all the field hockey programs in America East. That's a huge accomplishment.
I think it's like for the fourth year or something too,
Oh
which is
yeah, right. Not
yeah,
just right, not the
yeah.
first year, the fourth year.
Sorry about that, but I just thought, when it comes to the academic side, I know how hard our players, work away from the field as well, and I just thought it was an important area to be highlighted for them because they take the academic side very serious when obviously to complete their degrees and they want to do well. So yes, they've also just with our conference too with the other teams like the California teams in our conference. I think it's a great accomplishment for our team.
Well, you had a 3.68 GPA for the team, cumulative, and then six athletes who had a perfect 4.0 in either the fall or spring semester. You had a bunch of smarty pants on your team.
Yeah, they work hard.
I
They're
mean,
very
talk,
impressive, much more impressive than when I was in school.
right? Yeah, talk about. I mean, we say that they're student athletes, but your 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 athletes are really putting the focus on the student and the academic part there. How do you fit time into it? Because obviously with travel and games and there's a lot going on in practices.
Yeah, I think that they just have to be really organized, with their time, obviously, and have the discipline to when they do have time to spend time doing that and not doing something else. So it's a big credit to them because I'm sure there's times after practices and in the evenings that they're tired or maybe they'd prefer to be doing something else, but they want to do well. And for a lot of them, they're also looking to keep their GPAs high because they want to continue their studies either with graduate work or with something else after that. So the discipline, I think, is the big thing that I'm impressed with, that they're able to have that focus.
Do you have some academic support personnel that works with the team, or how does that work?
Yeah, Anne Maxim is our academic advisor, and she helps them with like their class selections and with any additional support that they may need, whether it's tutors or mentors. A lot of the services are utilized, especially for like our first year students, and then obviously any support that they need moving forward. But we like to have like the first year players who are coming in to make sure that they, have what they need and get like off to a good start, I guess, especially that we're a fall season. So I think that the travel, like you said, for the first year students and communicating with their professors and helps them with those skills so that they can stay on top of things.
This is a busy time because the first reporting date is August 8th, a week from today. But so now you've got all the players who are beginning to arrive on campus.
Yeah, this is this weekend. A lot of the players will be making their way with travel. Hopefully, everything goes smooth with their flights, and they'll be here for a couple days to get into their apartments, and the first year students will move into the dorms, their dorm rooms. There's some who will move into like their regular dorm rooms, but there's others that will be in like a temporary dorm room until a little bit later on. Well, they'll have access to their real dorm room. So it is still like a bit hectic with their travel because they're coming from like so far away as well. So to have them come back a day or two early to get settled, I think is important. And I think also the other thing is for our first year students, we have some students that have not even been on campus yet that, have made their decisions without visiting the school. So for them to be here and to have a little bit of time before so that we can show them around and, so they know where everything is before we get started. And I think that's also a good thing about preseason and being a fall sport is that they get to be here for a few weeks where it's not like super busy for them. There's not a lot of other students here and they can get settled and they're not in classes right away so they can get to know their teammates before their classes begin. So I think that that is like a bit of an advantage for a fall sport.
I was going to ask you, I mean, that whole mix of getting to know the teammates. I mean, you've got a really diverse team. I was looking at the roster. You've got four Mainers, and then you have players from Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Scotland, the Czech Republic, and England, as well as other states throughout the United States. I mean, how do you work on that? I mean, you've got so many different cultures. Um, is it the captains that acclimate everybody, or are you what do you do any specific team bonding? What how do you do what do you do?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of a lot of things because I mean, the biggest thing is obviously there's some players that are going to be coming into our program that already have experience being in other programs. So I think the captains working, with the incoming class is a big part of it. I think our coaching staff with Michelle and Leslie have already have like a lot of contact with the incoming class. And I think for us too as coaches is it's the playing style, right? That could be different from place to place and trying to work on the style that we would like to have for our team, but also there's a style that we may like to have, but we also have to go with what our strengths are as a team. And I think that
Right.
that's going to be the exciting part of the practices in preseason. In terms of team bonding, we like to do some activities. Obviously, we have some meetings where we get a lot of input from our players on the team because ultimately there's the leadership of like our coaching staff with the direction that we want the program and the team to be in, but also the leadership from within where uh, all of our players have to have a voice in what we're doing to a certain extent because we have to be doing it together. So there are some team meetings with that, and then there's some activities that hopefully are just fun, that we just get to do things together away from field hockey and get to know the other side of their personality or like help you know make them feel at ease, so that they feel comfortable because I think a lot of times players have to feel comfortable in order to perform better, and hopefully some of the activities that we do away from field hockey that they feel that they can let their guard down a little bit and that we get to see their true side, and that they get to interact with their teammates in a different way than just on the field hockey field.
With all the different fall sports arriving, is there like a general meeting of all athletes? I mean, do they get the soccer team, the football team, and the cross country and the hot field hockey teams together? Like, the athletic director sits there and welcomes everybody. Is there a general meeting as well?
Yeah, it does happen. There's two things, and the fall sports that you just mentioned are here early, but they get to interact a lot together because they're in the dining halls
Right.
together. uh, the women's sports are in the same dorm together, so there is some interaction for the first year players who are in those dorms. So I think that they do get to know each other a little bit, and then there is like an overall like welcome back dinner typically for the athletes where our athletic department organizes it and our athletic director welcomes everyone back and sort of sets the tone, I guess, for the fall. And that's like a little bit of an more of an opportunity for them to interact with like all the sports and not just the fall sports.
Right. Um, the Olympics. Are you watching the Olympics? Are you getting up early to watch the Olympics? I'm sure that'll be a big discussion
Yeah,
of all the players coming in this weekend.
that is, it's going to be something that we're going to do as a team to try to watch the championship game. But yeah, it'll be fun to have people from different countries rooting for their country. And I've been watching the U.S. team, and they're playing this morning actually at 11. But I watched them yesterday, and it's fun to see them, and to hear where all the different players went to school, and the fact that they hadn't been in the Olympics or hadn't qualified, and they're there, and to see them play against the top teams in the world is just very exciting. So yeah, I think it is going to be a part of our preseason. I'm sure that we'll be watching some games together, but I know that we'll definitely be watching the championship game together.
Well, I know that there's obviously going to be some smack talk amongst the Australian representative that you have, as they are right now 3-0 in the Olympics.
Yeah,
So,
right.
uh,
Netherlands, Argentina,
right.
Australia.
Yeah, there'll be some smack talk going on. All right. I know you're busy. I again, thank you so much for making time, and it's a busy time for you as you welcome everybody. You're not running to the airport to pick up international players, are you? Or that's the assistant coach's jobs, right?
Well, yeah, but what we had talked about last time, the start date got moved back a little bit. So my staff is actually busy this weekend doing a clinic in southern Maine on
Oh.
Saturday and Sunday. So we are coordinating a little bit what's going to happen this weekend with some of the travel, and so it might be a team effort to get everything done this weekend.
All right, so if you see Coach Babineau at the airport, I'll offer to help with the luggage because you'll be bringing in a lot of people.
Right.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week and find out how everything's gone.
All right. Thank you so much.